You can make a difference. You can give hope to a child. You can change a life, and that is no small change.
Hi, my name is Tamara Kiara from Lawrence, South Carolina, and you're watching One-on-One from Kids Hope USA.
Welcome to another episode of One-on-One. My name is David Staal.
And I'm Chris Reinsma, and today we're going to go through 10 creative ideas, Dave, that you can use in the mentoring hour. And why is that important at this time of the year, do you think?
Well, you know, if you're like me, you've been meeting with your child for many months now, it seems, and you've maybe run out of ideas. And so you need some fresh approaches to that hour, some new elements that you can add to create some excitement, have some fun, and maybe learn something along the way too, Chris.
Excellent, excellent. And some of these ideas are pretty simple, easily implementable. Others of them might take a little bit of time, but they're still great ideas. So we're going to walk through each of them and kind of demonstrate them. And the first one we're going to go with, Dave, is Jenga. Do you remember Jenga?
I sure do.
Okay. But this is a different kind of Jenga, and let me explain how it works. You have the regular Jenga blocks, but on the blocks we put questions, okay? Questions that you can ask. So I'm going to take one of these out, Dave, and hopefully it's going to stay.
Wow. That was gutsy, the bottom one.
The bottom one. And the question is, what is your favorite food?
My favorite food would have to be a Jets pizza.
A Jets pizza. This is a great way to get to know some other things about your mentee, and your mentee can get to know things about you just by asking these questions and playing a game at the same time.
Well, Chris, another idea is to make a collage about yourself and have your child make a collage about himself or herself. And what you can do is just grab some old magazines from home and a pair of scissors, some glue, and some paper. Those are usually pretty standard at an elementary school. And you just make a collage of some of the things about you. Like I have my name here, and you have your name over there, but some things that you like those Chicago-style hot dogs that you like in Sailing, and I'm a chips and salsa and Starbucks coffee kind of guy.
And Dave, what's going on with the DJ heavy Dave down here?
Yeah, in college, I had somewhat of a different role, and that was as a DJ every now and then.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I didn't know that about you.
Yeah,
so I learned something new just right now.
Absolutely. And Chris, how about this pair of sneakers right there?
I just got a new pair of basketball tennis shoes, ponies as a matter of fact, which are not popular anymore, but I think that's why that's on there, because I just got my new shoes.
Wonderful. Well,
Yeah.
I learned something about you too.
There you go.
It's a great way to learn about each other and have some fun along the way too.
Hey Dave, another great game is this one with the egg carton. So we just have a standard egg carton here, and what we do...
Oh, there's no eggs in there.
There's no eggs in there.
Okay.
The eggs are all gone. And what we do basically is we take it and we put numbers, okay, inside all the spaces where the eggs would be. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we have 3 left over, so we have a 1, a 4, and a 3.
Okay.
So we have all these numbers, and what we'll do is we'll take a couple pieces of candy. We got some Lifesavers today.
All right.
We're going to put them in there like this, close up the egg carton, and this would be something you could have your mentee do, and then they're going to shake it up.
Scrambling the eggs.
Scrambling the eggs right here.
There we are.
And then we're going to go ahead and open the egg carton, and there's going to be 2 numbers that are where the candy's going to sit. So you can kind of see where the numbers, the candy ended up, and they ended up on number 4 and number 7. So let's say we were working on addition. What's 4 plus 7?
11, Chris.
11, you got it right. Excellent. So that's kind of how it works. You can do addition, subtraction, or multiplication.
Chris, another game we're demonstrating right now is the headband game, and it's actually sold like a headband game here that you can buy, or you can make this one yourself too. But basically what we do is we put headbands on, and then we drew cards out of this deck of cards, and we couldn't look at what our own card was, and then we put it in the headband. For instance, I can see yours, you can see mine.
I can.
Yeah, so what we would do,
go ahead.
You ready?
Yep.
What we would do is we would turn the timer over And before the sand is all out of there, before the timer goes off, you would have to guess what's on your headband. So it says, I am something. So you would ask me several questions to try to guess what the card says you are.
And there's a sample question card here, so I'm going to ask you some questions. Do I have legs?
No.
No, I don't have any legs. Can I fly?
No.
I can't fly.
No.
Am I heavy?
Nope.
Am I alive?
Nope.
Nope. Wow. I don't know yet. I've got a little time. I don't have legs.
You could ask me if you're a fruit.
Am I a fruit?
Yes, you are, Chris.
Am I a banana?
Not quite, but you're close.
Am I an apple?
Not quite. Keep going.
Am I an orange?
You're an orange.
Oh, I got it! Incredible. And you're going to look really good in a headband.
Yeah, these are neat.
Hey Dave, another thing you can do that's pretty exciting is something called an art journal. And basically what you do is you can read a story with your mentee, and then after you're done you can draw a picture. And so we just read The Three Little Pigs together this morning.
We sure did.
So let's go ahead and draw some pictures of the Three Little Pigs.
Okay. So what we're doing is something from the story that we remember, right?
Right. The thing that was the scene we remember the most. Okay.
I can remember.
Okay. Great.
Right.
I got one too. What do you
Here we
have?
go. I drew a pig.
That's great, Dave. Look at that.
Yeah.
I drew the brick house with the three pigs in the middle of it, and so. But good job, good job. And you know what you can do with this, Dave?
Yeah.
Then
Cool.
We're going to read
okay.
a bunch of different stories.
I get it.
A bunch of different stories over the course of the year, and then we can keep all of them in this journal like this. Okay, so this is Chris and Dave's art journal, and so we'll have our Three Little Pig drawings in here, and then the other books that we read, we'll put them in here too. And then at the end of the year, we can look back and see all the books that we read.
There we go. I can hardly wait.
Pretty awesome.
Well, Chris, got another idea for an activity. Do you know what one of these is?
That looks like some technology. It looks like an iPad to me.
It's an iPad, Chris. And anybody who has an iPad or an iPhone or any of those smartphones, you can download apps. And there's a ton of educational tutorial apps. I downloaded a math one that's very simple. And what it does is it just brings up simple math problems, usually told in a story or a sentence form. And what happens is we read the math problem, then the little guy I mentor runs up to the board, the whiteboard, he works out the problem on the board, then comes back and selects the correct answer. And it keeps score. So like for this question right here, Chris, it says, what is 2 more than 6?
2 more than 6. So I would put 6 plus 2 on the board. I would say it would be 8.
So go ahead and touch 8 there.
I'm going to touch 8.
And it says 8 is correct.
Wow, and it comes right up on there, so that's kind of neat. I can see it right there immediately that I got it right. Dave, you know, we've talked before about helping kids build social emotional skills in the hour, and here's one way to do it is by reading a story together and then trying to consider how the different characters are feeling. So I'm going to read you a little section of, we're back to the Three Little Pigs again, and then I'm going to ask you a question.
And we're not illustrating something.
We're not illustrating. We're not drawing any pictures. Don't worry. The man gave the straw to the little pig. Then the pig built. Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in, said the wolf. So he huffed and puffed and blew the house in. Then he chased the little pig away. Dave, how do you think that pig is feeling, that little pig that got his house blown down? What do you think he's feeling?
Oh, I bet he's feeling really disappointed, Chris, because, you know, he was given this straw and he was able to make it his own and build a house, and then somebody just came along and just puffed and blew it down. He's probably really disappointed because he was really happy and then everything was taken away from him.
Yeah, and you know, you can do this with any kind of a story where you're just kind of trying to look at it from the character's perspective. So the little pig and how he felt. And again, any story works, and it's a great way to help your kids kind of learn to take the perspectives of others, which is a great social and emotional skill to have.
Well, Chris, another idea for an activity that a mentor and a child can do together is to write a thank you note. Think of somebody who deserves thanks. Maybe you had an activity lately. Maybe you want to thank the principal, the janitor, a teacher.
Somebody at school?
Yeah, somebody at school. Somebody who the child knows and has reason to thank. But what you do is you do it together.
Right.
And it teaches a child how to express thanks and just do a common courtesy.
Yeah,
you know?
which is great.
But you can do it fun. This is the way we did it. Take a blank sheet of paper, fold it in half, have your child write a thank you note on one side, and you write a thank you note on the other side.
Right.
That way what happens is your child feels as though you're doing it together. Have your child write the words first so that he or she thinks of the words, and then you write a note too so that it shows that you're participating and shows how normal it is to express thanks to somebody.
And you know what I like about the thank you letter you wrote, Dave, is you wrote really simply, just like your mentee did in the thank you letter that you wrote with your mentee.
Yeah, I didn't use big, long sentences.
No.
I somewhat mimicked his style and all that because then it made him feel like he did a really good job with it.
Excellent. Dave, another activity you can do with your mentee is engage in a service project at the school.
What's that, Chris?
Basically, what you'll do is you'll just find out from maybe the school secretary or the janitor or maybe one of the teachers of something that they need done at the school. So many times, Dave, our kids are on the receiving end of all sorts of things. This is really an opportunity for them to give back, and research is clear that kids who give back feel better about themselves. So find that simple thing from a teacher, school secretary, janitor, somebody, a project that you can maybe complete during your hour, and that's a way for them really to do a simple service project at school, which I think is a great way to help the child.
Yeah, especially when you're doing it together, too.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Another activity you can do with your child is to role play. But you don't want to say to your child, hey, let's role play for a while. Instead, what you do is you say, hey, let's play What Will You Do?
Okay.
Okay, so
it's a game, really.
Yeah, it's a game, and what you do is you trade back and forth, and the way you can start this off is just say, hey, let's pretend that we just pulled up into McDonald's, we walked in there.
I love McDonald's.
Oh, I know you do. And you go up to the counter, and you want to order a Big Mac or a Happy Meal or something like that. What would you choose to order, and how would you order with the person at the counter there?
Okay, and I'm a young kid. I'm going to walk in there. I'm going to say, I want some chicken nuggets.
Okay, now that's something that you could say, Chris. But think about the other person on the other side of the counter. It's best to be polite to that person. So maybe a way to say it is, hi, can I please have some chicken nuggets? Something along those lines, where you start to model and encourage social skills. So the child knows when he or she goes to McDonald's next, he knows to say please before the chicken nuggets.
Hey Dave, we're at a really fun part in the program where we pick out one program to get a prize from Kids Hope USA and remind our audience what it is that they get and how this works.
Well, if we select your program, and we'll announce that in just a moment, you have 24 hours to call our national office. So this is going on the air April 11th. That means you have until 5 o'clock, April 12th, to call the national office, tell us who you are, and claim your prize. And your prize is $100 worth of Kids Hope logo wear or whatever you want to purchase, but we'll give you a $100 gift certificate for that. So, Chris, why don't we select the winning program?
Okay, and you're going to spin the tumbler this time, and the number is 505.
505.
Number 505. Is Thea Peterson from Knoxville, Tennessee. So Thea at St. John's Lutheran, they're running a great program down there in Knoxville. Call in and claim your prize.
And if you know Thea, and if maybe she isn't watching this episode right now, give her a call, send her an email, tell her to make sure she watches this episode, and then calls the national office so that she collects her prize as representing all of our friends down in Knoxville, Tennessee.
That's great. Today in our episode, we covered 10 kind of exciting and creative ways to spend the hour with your mentee, Dave. And we talked about ways to build the relationship, games you can use to build academic skills and also to teach social emotional skills to kids.
Absolutely. You can use some of these. You might have some other ideas. Some are real simple. Some take a little planning. But the important thing is to think about the hour and how you're going to use that time and what you're going to accomplish.
Being intentional.
Yeah, and you can have fun along the way. All these were fun to do. Chris, I had a blast with you.
I did. I had a lot of fun today. It's good stuff.
Because, you know, along the way, you can have fun, you can build into your child, you can form this great relationship, and along the way, Chris, what will happen is that you'll change a life.
And that's no small change. And do you want me to show the... Oh, I don't know if I can do this.
I think this will be hilarious.
This is going to be funny.